Welcome learners. Today we are in the class of colon classification 6th edition and its practice in our Bachelor of Library and Information Science program in the course Knowledge Organization Classification Practice. Today we are going to discuss synthesizing class number for subjects in physical sciences. Physical sciences deal with the systematic study of the inorganic world. Dr. Ranganathan in colon classification 6th edition divided the study in the physical sciences as mathematics, physics, engineering, chemistry and technology. Most of these fields of studies are again divided into canonical classes in their respective areas. Physical sciences as a generic class is denoted by the digit gamma, Greek letter gamma. Again, it is a part of natural sciences and which is denoted by the digit A along with the biological sciences. Biological sciences again is denoted by the digit capital G. The main class useful arts is meant to accommodate arts and crafts resulted from the application of applied aspects of science and technology. Although this main class has been placed at the end of natural sciences, we discuss it with the physical sciences considering its relevance. In this session today, we briefly discuss these different main classes of physical sciences, the foci or isolates belonging in their fundamental categories and the relationships among them when manifested in the subjects in publications or documents, and finally building class numbers for the subject from these classes. Now we move on to the basic class mathematics. According to Dr. Ranganathan, it is not possible to enunciate any relevant characteristic to classify the main class mathematics as a whole. So, it has been divided along canonical lines. In the first instance, we get the subdivisions in the canonical lines like arithmetic, algebra, analysis, trigonometry, geometry, statistics, mechanics, physico-mechanics and astronomy, etc. The canonical class B1 arithmetic is further subdivided into the canonical classes as lower arithmetic, concept of numbers, integer or theory of numbers, algebraic number, complex number, transcendental number. The subdivision of canonical class algebra enumerates the canonical classes such as elementary algebra, continued fraction, theory of equation, determinant, higher algebra, etc. Again, the subclasses of elementary algebra are on the canonical lines. The subdivisions of the canonical class of mathematics analysis is again on the canonical lines, which are calculus, differential and integral equations, continuous group, differential forms, infinite series, real variables, complex variables, etc. The enumeration of isolates in the schedules of the canonical classes are quite exhaustive and in depth. Personality and energy vary in different classes. Personality is usually the kind, degree or order of the equation, and the energy facet includes the solution, etc. Extensive use of chronological device has been made in case of theorems. Here in the example presented, we see the personality facet occurs in 3 levels in the canonical class B33 differential and integral equation. Here we can see in the example arbitrary title we have taken numerical solution of 6th order ordinary linear integral equation. The main class is mathematics. Differential and integration equation is denoted by the canonical class B33. We get in the personality facet the 3 levels, that is in level 1 ordinary differential and integral equation, then in level 2 we get linear ordinary differential integration equation, and in the level 3 we get the 6th order of the ordinary linear differential equation. Therefore, the class number will be B33, 1, 1, 6. As we know, as we get from the facet formula, the indicator digit is to be inserted accordingly. Now we discuss the basic class physics. Physics is one of the subjects again in which the rules for subdivision cannot be begun with the enumeration of some trains of characteristics to be used as the basis of their classification. Like mathematics, physics too has at the first instance been divided in the canonical lines. The canonical divisions of physics are, in the first instance, are fundamental of physics, properties of matter, sound, heat, radiation, electricity, magnetism, etc. Systems and special facets of physics have also been provided. Some of the canonical classes admit of further subdivision on the basis of certain trains of characteristics. In the facets, matter is usually not present. It may be got by the mnemonic device. For this, you can see the examples at the end of the rules in part 1 of the chapter C, that is the basic class physics. It may also be got by subject device if necessary. I repeat. In the facets, matter is usually not present. It may be got by mnemonic device, or it may also be got by subject device if necessary. For this, I refer to the examples at the end of the rules part of the chapter C, physics, in part 1 of colon classification 6th edition. Here, example from the canonical class radiation is presented, that is, the title is taken as the introduction to the theory of the Raman effect. Here the canonical class of physics is radiation, then in personality facet we get light, and then in the energy facet we get dispersion. The energy facet is further sharpened by the special effect by chronological device, and the energy spectroscopic effects in the energy facet, the notation is 38, and for Raman effect it will be 38N28, as Raman effect was discovered in 1928, and using chronological device we get the notation in the energy facet. The Raman effect is 38 and individualized by N28. Therefore, the class number will be C51:38N capital N 28. Next, another examples are presented here, such as transmission of sound in water. Here we get sound and the canonical class in the basic class physics. Then propagation we get from the energy facet, and water in the second round matter facet, and the notation is devised using the subject device for the water, that comes from the basic class chemistry, main class E chemistry. So the class number will be C3:2 and then semicolon within parenthesis capital E 210, that is the notation for water from the main class E chemistry. Another example is presented here from the special facet of main class physics, that is nuclear fission. So, the special facet is C9B3, and then fission we get from the energy facet, and the class number will be C9B3:11. Next, we discuss the main class engineering. Engineering is a very vast discipline having many branches in its fold. In colon classification 6th edition, the traditional division of engineering are civil engineering and mechanical engineering. The first division of engineering is on canonical basis. Though each canonical class has its own personality isolates, even then a common connective of all the personality isolates can be found out, where personality facet is the kind of work and second level of personality facet is the part of the work. So, it varies according to personality facet, meaning that second level personality facets, second level personality isolates are not common for all isolates of P1, that is first level of personality isolate. It is known as differential facet. However, for D6 mechanical engineering, P2 means the field of application. Its isolate, if not enumerated, may be obtained by subject device. P3 is part of the work of the D6 mechanical engineering. Its isolates have not been enumerated in this schedule. Perhaps these would be enumerated in the depth version of the schedule. Energy facet shows various engineering operations. The work facet, as manifested in the personality facet of the main class engineering, are civil engineering, irrigation and drainage work, building, transport in respect to track and also in respect to vehicle, mechanical engineering, nuclear engineering, municipal and sanitary engineering, etc. The main classes allied to engineering are technology, mining and useful arts, which are denoted by the digits capital D, capital F, capital HZ and M respectively. Here we present some examples from the basic class engineering. Say for example, the title is machine tool vibration. So, it will go under the main class or basic class engineering, capital D. Then mechanical engineering, we get it from the personality facet and notation is 6, and then machine tool from the second level of personality facet denoted by the digit 8, and applied mechanics under the energy facet denoted by 1. Therefore, the class number will be capital D 6,8:1. Again, similarly, we get colon number for the title construction of overhead transmission wire, electrical engineering, and then overhead transmission from the second level personality, then formation work from the energy facet. Therefore, the class number will be D66, 21, then the formation work is colon 76 from energy facet. Let us now move on to the main class chemistry. In colon classification 6th edition, the main class E chemistry is divided into canonical classes such as inorganic chemistry and organic chemistry. Physical chemistry and analytical chemistry are treated in energy facet. The facet formula for the main class chemistry is capital E, then P, P2, then colon E, then comes the second round of personality facet. The foci in the personality facet are inorganic substances, hydroxyl, basic oxide, acid, acidic oxide, salt, organic substance, aliphatic compound, aromatic compound, heterocyclic compound, biosubstances. In the personality facet, notation 1 deals with the chemistry of chemical elements and elaborate rules explain the construction of isolate number of chemical elements. The classification of chemical elements in colon classification 6th edition is based on the periodic table. An isolate number for an element usually consists of 3 digits and in some cases 5 digits too also. 1. The first digit stands for the concept element. The second digit indicates the group number of the element in the periodic table. The third digit is the period number of the element in the periodic table. Thus, the isolate number 182 indicates iron, as iron is placed in 8th group in periodic table, and 2 represents the period number of iron in the 8th group of the periodic table. 19 in the personality facet is introduced to accommodate special groupings of elements which are common, such as 191 metal, 192 rare element, 193 alloy, 195 non-metal, etc. When an element is a part of the chemical compound, full element number instead of the element number is to be considered. Full element number is obtained by element number plus valency number of the element in a particular compound. As for example, full element number of sulfur in sulfuric acid will be 61 plus 6. Here the sulfur is denoted by 161. 1 has to be eliminated. Then for sulfur we will get 61, and in sulfuric acid the valency of sulfur is 6. So the full element number of sulfur in sulfuric acid will be 616. In personality facet isolate, number 2 indicates hydroxide or oxides. Notation for a hydroxide is obtained in the following way as presented here. Notation for hydroxide plus element number of the element whose hydroxide it is. As for example, we derive here the notation of sodium hydroxide. Here main class chemistry, okay, and then hydroxide in the personality facet is denoted by the notation or digit 2, and then we get element number of sodium from the personality facet again, that is 11. Therefore, the sodium hydroxide will be 2. The notation for sodium hydroxide will be capital E 211. Notation for an oxide is obtained in the similar way, that is notation for oxide plus full element number of the element whose oxide it is. Here notation of carbon dioxide can be determined from the main class E chemistry. Oxide notation for oxide is 2 in the personality facet. Then element number of carbon from the personality facet is 40. Valency of carbon in the carbon dioxide as in our consideration here is 4. Therefore, full element number of carbon in carbon dioxide will be 404, and notation of carbon dioxide will be thus E2404. That is capital E is chemistry, then 2 is the oxide, and it is the oxide of carbon, and full element number of carbon in carbon dioxide is 404. So 404. Therefore, the notation for carbon dioxide, that is the oxide of carbon, will be capital E 2404. For 5 organic substance, 6 aliphatic compound, 7 aromatic compound and 8 heterocyclic compound in the personality facet, the notation of a substance may be manifested in 2 levels, that is P1 and P2. P2 is regarded as combination number, which is used to indicate derivatives of organic and biochemical substances. This provide individualization only up to family level and not to the individual member. Thus, notation for chloride derivatives in the second level personality in both methyl chloride and ethyl chloride will be same. Notation of methyl chloride will be constructed from the personality facet methane 611, chloride halogen derivative from the second level personality facet 1. Therefore, notation of methyl chloride will be capital E 611, 1. Another example we are citing here from the special facet of the main class chemistry, that is biochemical analysis of amino acid. Special facet biochemistry is denoted here by capital E9 capital G. The special facet biochemistry is denoted here by E9G. Then in the personality facet we get the notation for amino acid, that is 9 to Z, and then the analytical chemistry from the energy facet the notation is 3. Therefore, the class number will be E9G, 9 to Z, 3. Next, we move on to the main class technology. The main class technology, denoted by the digit capital F, covers only the scope of industrial chemistry or chemical technology. It means that the class refers only to the industrial production of chemicals and their byproducts. The personality facet covers the foci for substances. For the isolates in it are same as for e-chemistry, and in addition an enumeration of a number of isolates is presented in chapter F of the schedule in the part 2 of the colon classification 6th edition. If there is more than one industrial form for any substance, the different forms should be determined by the favored category device principle, such as the notation for iron is 182 and different forms of iron according to the favored category device may be obtained, such as for cast iron the notation will be 1821, the wrought iron will be denoted as 1822, then steel will be denoted as 1823 and steel alloy will be denoted by 1824. The foci in the personality facet are the same as for main class E chemistry, and in addition as enumerated in the schedule of technology. The isolates for the problem facet in Ecom 2P to give an account of some aspects of the problems of technology in general are to be obtained from main class chemistry. The second digit onwards in the subdivisions of the problem facet 8 in main class chemistry are regarded to denote the problem facet of technology. If a book presents both the process isolates should be added first and the problem isolate thereafter. The two isolate numbers should be separated by a colon. See the rule F23 page 1.78 in part 1 of the 6th edition. Here we present an example, yeast fermentation of dimethyl ether. So it will be denoted from the technology from the basic class technology. So the main class is denoted by the capital F. Then dimethyl ether, here both the personality facet in level 1 and level 2 are considered together from the main class E chemistry, that will be 611281. Yeast fermentation is to be denoted as energy facet, and both the process and the problem facet will come under the energy facet and separated by colon again. So for yeast we are applying alphabetical device in the energy facet as process, and then for fermentation we get it as the problem facet from the energy category. And finally the number from CC 6th edition for the title yeast fermentation of dimethyl ether will be F611, 281, then colon Y colon 7. Here Y and 7 are both considered as the isolates from the energy facet, yeast is the process facet, and fermentation is the problem facet. Now we discuss the basic class useful arts, which is denoted by the digit capital M. The main class M useful arts in CC 6th edition may be called a hold-all class. This main class is meant to accommodate arts and crafts resulted from the application of applied aspects of science and technology. Therefore, the class should be exhaustive one, and as we get this main class holds the classes such as book production, air fight, traffic regulation on road, or indoor games, jugglery, or circus, and many other. The divisions of this class are canonical, and the schedule for each canonical class is only brief and illustrative. Infinite number of subjects could be enumerated, but Dr. Ranganathan left scope for more detailed schedules in prospective depth classification for each canonical class under this basic class. For this purpose, a facet formula for each of these divisions should be constructed. As illustration, schedules of the following classes are presented under this main class, such as M7 denotes textiles, rope making is denoted MJ7. We are presenting one example, wrestling, rules, tips, strategy and safety. So here the basic class is the useful arts, which is denoted by capital M, and the wrestling is denoted by the canonical division of the useful arts, which is denoted by the notation MY245. Therefore, the class number for wrestling will be capital MY245. We have discussed today different branches of physical sciences as have been organized in colon classification 6th edition. The basic class mathematics, physics, engineering, chemistry, technology, etc. come under the generic or partially comprehensive class physical sciences. Mathematics, physics, engineering are again subdivided in several canonical classes in their own areas of knowledge. The basic class engineering shows basically the application of the basic class physics and its subdivisions. The main class chemistry is the branch of physical sciences that deals with the properties, compositions and structure of elements and compounds. Therefore, the personality facet in chemistry enumerates the elements and their compounds. The class technology deals with the industrial application of chemical substances. The main class useful arts accommodates the applied aspects of science and technology. Its subdivisions are mainly on canonical lines. The nature and properties of the isolates in each of these main and canonical classes have their own characteristics, and in today's session we have discussed the relevant rules and their applications in working out class numbers in the respective field of study.